these golf events that you have coming up.
Gabby, I'm glad you
coming up.
Gabby.
Okay, let's talk through all these golf events. Okay, let's talk through all these golf events that you have coming up.
Gabby, I'm glad you asked. Got my calendar right here. July 17th at Red Run, and then July 31st, I have the American Golf outing for the Cancer Society.
I also have the American Cancer Society golf outing on the 31st, and also I got yours on the 18th, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
I'm gonna
Oh, boys, these are a lot of events and golf outings.
Well, you want me to miss my own golf tournament?
Gabby, they're all great calls.
I mean, this
Okay,
is.
hold on. I got this. Guys, I got this. Don't worry about it. Hold on a second.
He always says that.
Guys, thanks for coming so fast. How are ya?
Remember the guys from Randy Wise, right? Sir. The Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
Watch for the eye.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports. And some, well, not so much. Brought to you in part by Premier Security Solutions, Fairway Packing Company, and Swiss Insurance. Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
And here we go. Monday, June 5th, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz'z. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com if you're watching live. Braylon is playing golf in the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour today and next Monday. So in the big chair today, the great Tom Mazawey.
I can't get out of this chair for the life of me.
Not in the summer, you can't.
It is what it is.
Good afternoon to you, Tom. How you doing, my friend?
Good, man. I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't talked to you in a while. I gave you a little break. You had some time off, a little family time over the weekend as well. So it's great to see you. Let's catch up.
So this was my family time. We call it a guy's golf trip. I went on a golf trip this weekend, Maz'z. You ready?
I'm ready.
12 guys. We played 90 holes of golf. 90. Over 3 days.
Oh, my God.
Really 2.5 days because it was a travel day on Thursday.
Yeah.
18 on Thursday, 36 on Friday, 36 on Saturday. Then we woke up and we came home on Sunday. I did have some pictures for you from that, but either way, it's neither here nor there.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. That was the Bay Harbor course. I mean, the state of Michigan is so freaking beautiful. I can't even stand it. I mean,
who are you with?
12 guys.
Right.
It's too much to name everybody. But we went up to Boyne. We stayed there, played 2 Boyne courses, and then played a couple of Bay Harbor. So that was one of my buddies, Mitch, lent me his 3-wood to take a swing out of the fairway. And I lopped off the freaking, I broke the club.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a $350 club.
What did Mitch say?
Don't worry about it.
That's nice.
Yeah, very nice. He said it was an old club anyway.
Good for him.
Yeah,
Good for
I
you,
went into
Jack.
the pro shop to try to buy him a new club. It's like $350. It's like, no thanks.
I
You're
don't
on
think
your
Nicole
own.
would have liked that.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
She didn't like a lot of things that happened over the
I don't
weekend, but
blame her.
thankfully she doesn't know about a lot of the things that happened over the weekend. So that's all good. But it was great to get away, Tom.
Good for you, brother.
You ever take a guy's trip?
Very rarely, but sometimes, once in a blue moon. Haven't in a long time though. Last weekend, I was in Cleveland, but it was a couples kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, not really. I really don't. What kind of guys trip? The only guys trip I would take would be a baseball or a football weekend. So I guess maybe one of those we'll take off one of those.
One of the things that I really enjoy doing, and I haven't done this prior to COVID, is like grab one buddy, whoever, and go to see a Tigers game or go see a Michigan game or go see a Lions game, something like that. I think those are great road trips to have a destination too. I'm not the biggest golfer. The 90 holes of golf I played this weekend was 72 holes of golf more than I've played in the last 10 years combined. Yes, I am very sore. I'm not a golfer.
Right.
I enjoyed the camaraderie. I enjoyed being with everybody. You sit there, you drink on the cart. You play music. We had the speakers on the golf carts. You bring your little thing and magnets to the golf cart.
Listening to?
Oh man, all this hollering, all this loud music. Me, I like a good love music.
Of course,
good love.
You're
music.
a lover, not a fighter.
Oh man, all this loud music on the golf course.
No 70s
it
or
was
80s.
Exhausting.
No 60s.
No, well, no. I do like a little bit of 80s. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm a 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, but it was really good. What'd you do this weekend, Maz'z?
Okay, here's the quickie for me. I decided we're going to open the pool. I wanted to open it last weekend.
You opened the pool.
I was away. So we got the pool covered all winter long. You know how you take care of a pool, guys. Anyone that has one knows you put a lot into it when you close it. You got to take good care of it, put all the right chemicals in it, lower the water to where it's supposed to be, cover it up, and then all year, all winter long, when the rain and the snow and the leaves get on it, you get out there and the best you can, you get them off the tarp.
Gotta get them off the tarp.
You gotta get them off the tarp, so the tarp is easy to peel back when you open it. Unbeknownst to me, the tarp must have developed a few holes over the winter.
No.
I opened my pool and it looked like a swamp.
Oh no.
Yeah. I was so depressed. I had a lousy weekend. So I take it back. My brother-in-law, who's usually my guy. By the way, happy birthday to my brother-in-law today.
Jersey
Dave.
Mike?
No, Dave.
Oh, Dave.
Kathy's brother, Dave.
Shout out to you, Dave.
Shout out to you, Dave. He's not around this weekend. He's on a golf trip. So I've got to rely on myself and my wife and my kids, and that's not really going to happen. So thank God I put this SOS out to my neighbor, Phil. Thank you, Phil and
Shout
Jacqueline.
out to you, Phil.
They come over, they look at it, they assess the damage, and they're like, okay, we're going to do this, 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 and this. So it took us the full weekend, but it is crystal blue right now and ready to swim.
So, Tom, I was gone Thursday, Friday on a golf trip. Your brother-in-law, the old reliable, couldn't help you out
Dave.
because he was good Dave.
Yep.
He was playing golf.
He loves golf.
And you love being on the desk so much. Braylon is out today playing golf.
Yeah.
You love golf.
I love golf like anyone would love to be in the pits of hell.
Have you ever played golf?
Yeah, I played it. It's just not for me. I just can't see. First of all, you're outside. It's hot as hell most of the time. I don't drink. Everyone's drunk around you. It just don't do it for me. I'll drive the cart. Yeah, it's fun for a few minutes. How do you guys play? Never mind 18. How do you play 36 holes in a day? I'd be bored out of my skull.
So it was very. It was.
How do you not?
It was very extra to play that much golf, even for me. I'm not a. So what we did too is we played scramble. Like the entire weekend was a scramble format. Every set of 18 holes that we played, you match up with a foursome, and we played scramble. I don't think there's a scenario that I can see in which I would ever hit my own ball. It would just take me 6 or 7 hours. I mean, I got to be matched up with a group where you take the best ball every single shot.
And they all want to play with you on their team because they love you.
How do you not?
How do you not?
I mean, but every single ball has to be the best ball.
How do you not?
I'm not going to play my own ball. I lost 12, 24, 30. I lost 48 balls. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So either.
Did you find any ones to put away?
No, they're all garbage.
Yeah,
they're all garbage. It's garbage.
So golf to me is this. It's the enemy to me. That's all. It always has been.
Right.
And it probably always will be.
Sam Flannel is with us today in the audio booth. Sam has been working tirelessly. I had to ask him before the show, just quite simply, bro, are you high? And he said no. He said no.
Now, why would you ask him that?
Well, because he looks like he's ready to just fall down over here.
Let's take a look at him.
Let's take a look at him
Let's
over
take
here.
a look at it. Let's Let's see Sam. There
I
he
think I
is.
look all right. I mean, I'm just fresh off of doing Big D Energy with Neil Rule. You know the kind of pressure cooker that can be at Feldman, and I somehow teleported here to hang out with you guys again because I am, like I said last week, I'm not on the show anymore, but I am the best friend of the show.
You are.
Best friend of the show. Yeah, I mean, Sam Flannel, fresh off the Big D Energy show today, filling in for Darren McCarty, who also, I believe,
Golf.
is part of the
Golf.
Randy Wise. There's something about the summer.
Doesn't matter.
Is there anything other than a golf tournament? Can I just ask that? Does anybody do any charity, anything, other than a golf tournament? On Wednesday of this week, I'm doing a boating charity situation on Lake St. Clair.
Ooh, that's nice.
For Parkinson's.
That's sweet.
So that's nice. But otherwise, to do a charity in the summer, it feels like a golf session.
I know golf it's part of the business world. It just is. People leave their businesses, they have golf outings, they hang out. It's part of business. I get it. I just don't have to like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Parker Brown. You may have been seeing him sit behind JB. He was behind JB, who was in the TD booth for the last couple of weeks with us. Parker is on our show. He is a part of our show, going to be controlling the TD booth. Parker, what's happening, my friend? How you doing, buddy?
Man, not much. I'm excited to finally get to sit in this chair today and, glad to be here with you guys talking some sports.
Share a little something about yourself with our audience. Fletch has moved on. You assumed the Fletch role. What are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 22. I graduated college 3 weeks ago.
Oh, God bless you.
Yeah, I kind of just went, let's start working. I didn't really want to break, so I'm happy to be here. I love sports. I've loved them ever since I've been born. My dad grew me up as a Red Wings fan, so I live, breathe, and sleep sports.
We love it, man. We love to have you a part of the crew here, and we'll have some fun and we'll have some laughs. And feel free to chime in as you see fit. Parker Brown, ladies and gentlemen.
All right,
Parker Brown. All right, great stuff. Great stuff. All right, Tom. Big show for you today. Lions minicamp, mandatory minicamp begins tomorrow. Tim Twentyman, DetroitLions.com, is going to join us in a couple of minutes to share his thoughts on what we should be looking for. But it may have been a shock to you. It was not a shock to him. The Miami Heat have tied the series at 1 with the Denver Nuggets.
They don't go away.
We will get into that next. But first, the message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Ladies and gentlemen, you can walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars. One for you, one for your wife, one for your girlfriend, one for your best friend, your son, your daughter, your mom, your dad, whoever. All you have to do is get your hair cut at Lady Jane's.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Welcome back to WoodwardSports.com. Subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube. Ermanni and Edwards on Apple iTunes as well, and Google Play. However you consume Woodward Sports, we certainly appreciate it. Tell a friend about us. Hopefully your summer is off to a great start. The month of June already, and that means NBA Finals time. Tom Mazawey. The Heat shocked the Nuggets. So many different ways we can go with this, but first and foremost, this is the first time the Miami Heat have won a game against Denver.
Yeah.
Since 2016. Let's start there.
That's unbelievable. I know they don't play a lot, but still.
As an 8.5-point dog, and really a complete domination of the Nuggets in Game 1 over the Heat.
By the Nuggets. For
Miami to come back in Game 2. You were not surprised. You called.
No, me and Braylon were on the desk on Friday. We had Sam here, Parker, and JB. I think JB went on my side. Finally, I talked him into it. I just think that this team, they don't know how to quit. The first game, let's face it, they were coming off that Boston Game 7. They put everything into that. Then you come into that mile-high air. You're going to be gassed in the fourth. But they got dominated. They got dominated in that game. 8-point spread. Denver covered it with ease. Jokic, triple-double. And Eric Spoelstra, we talked about it. This guy's the best coach in basketball right now. Hands down, the best coach in basketball. I just thought he'd get on his team. He'd probably work them all day on Friday and get them ready for that Sunday game. And you know what? They were down big time. What were they down? 15 points in that game, down 8 heading into the fourth. They make that run, and they get the lead. And like you said last night in our text chain, I think Mike Malone made a mistake not calling a timeout at the end of that game to try to set something up. Maybe they tried to surprise Miami, get on down there and tie it up. Didn't work. The Heat, it's 1-1 going back to Miami. But really, home court really has not mattered in these NBA playoffs. Look at the Boston Heat series. They won more games in Boston than they did in Miami. So I think Denver comes back strong in Game 3. But I think it's a decent series. People would think it's going to be a sweep, 5 games. I think I had the Heat in 7. I hope it goes 7. I truly do.
Yeah, I do too. And I think last night, maybe for a lot of people, you look at the series and you say, okay, it's on now. And Eric Spoelstra, we talk about the guy all the time. And I think, we'll talk about the Pistons at some point as well. They hired an assistant coach today, Steven Silas.
How about that?
To join Monty Williams' staff. And it's funny because I go back and forth on this all the time about coaching staffs and how much they matter, because you absolutely need players. Who is the Jimmy Butler on the Detroit Pistons? Who is the Bam Adebayo on the Detroit Pistons? Now, that could be eventually
they haven't developed
6 years from now.
Correct.
It could be, 6-7 years from now.
Maybe less.
It could be Jalen Duren. But, and at that point, the coach will matter. But
it still matters.
It still matters. I understand that, and I'm downplaying it, but I'm just trying to get a sense. Eric Spoelstra is a really good head coach, probably the best coach of the NBA, but he's also got 2 really good players, 2 star-type players.
He does.
And in one guy that borders on superstar in Jimmy Butler. And last night, though, he makes the decision to start Kevin Love. And he also makes the decision to insert Duncan Robinson start of the fourth quarter. Guy played 17 minutes, most of them in the fourth quarter, and then just, triple, layup, triple. 10 quick points to get Miami back into the game. And he just pushes all the right buttons, Eric Spoelstra. And so, in these moments, I think a lot of people who counted the Heat out after Game 1 said, not so fast. This is going to be a series.
Sam, do you think it's a series now, or do you think Denver pretty much bounces back in Game 3? Mike Malone's going to get on him. He talked in the post-game about their effort, how it sucked, basically. And they took it for granted, and they gave up home court.
Those Heat, I tell you. I was in Maz'z. I did send the text in the group chat where I said I was wrong.
Oh, you did?
I did predict that the Nuggets would sweep, but those Heat, I always think that they are going to cool off from 3, or they're going to continue to cool off from 3, because in the regular season, and I keep saying this, they were 4th worst at 34%. And in the playoffs, they have been 39%, which is best out of any playoff team. And you mentioned Duncan Robinson. He basically gets inserted into the game, scores 10 points in the fourth quarter, and spurs a 17-5 run, which completely flips the game. And speaking of Duncan Robinson, he's one of those guys. In the regular season, shot 33% from three. In the playoffs, 44%. How about Gabe Vincent? In the regular season, 33%. In the playoffs, 41%.
Nice.
Caleb Martin, in the regular season, 36%. In the playoffs, 44%. Those role players have really, really stepped up, along with Jimmy Butler having a damn good playoff run in totality, but kind of having a mid-finals when you look at the numbers. The one thing that also stands out to me, too, is that Nikola Jokic put up 41, 11, and 4 on tremendous efficiency, and they lost. The Nuggets the other Nuggets starters kind of let him down last night. That's fair.
This is, I believe, the third time this playoff that Jokic has scored in the 40s and they lost the game.
Yeah.
And that is because I think that's the formula now to beat the Denver Nuggets. Let Jokic get his, or Jokic, or however the hell you say his name, and guard everybody else. 4 assists is not going to do it.
No.
It's those triple-double numbers where he's getting everybody else involved.
Correct.
That allows Denver to be as good as they are. And I think Eric Spoelstra has now seen that. If you can just guard everybody else.
Which ain't easy.
Which is not, but it's a lot easier for the Miami Heat to defend because their calling card is defending.
Yes.
They play defense maybe better than anybody in the league. And when you have a bunch of undrafted rookies in there, isn't that how you get in the league? I mean, you're either a sharpshooter like Duncan Robinson turned into, or you're a guy out there that's scrapping and clawing and playing all kinds of defense. Those guys are effort guys. And I do think that is the blueprint to beat Denver now is to keep that assist total below 5 for Jokic.
Yeah, and Mike Malone's going to make some adjustments. There's no question. They did give up home court. Like I said, home court really hasn't meant a ton in the entire NBA playoffs. A lot of teams are just going on the road, playing relaxed, and playing their best basketball. Miami gets home court now. Wednesday night's game 3. I don't know what the spread is on that game yet. If I had to guess, I think Denver by 4 to 5. I would still think Denver's the favorite in that game. I think they bounce back, and I think they'll probably win game number 3. But don't count the Heat out again to come back and tie that series up. I hope it goes 7, like I said, but you never know. The series really, Denver's the much better team. But remember what Braylon said. The Celtics were a much better team as well.
I'm looking at Denver minus 2.5 for game 3, so they're still the favorite in Miami. 1 point about the end of the game. Mike Malone not calling a timeout is one aspect of it, and then you have Eric Spoelstra not fouling.
Yeah,
up 3.
I know,
with a foul to give in that situation. Maybe the players were just unaware, but I almost think it is automatic to me. I am not letting you tie me.
No.
I am not giving you that opportunity, especially with a foul to give. When we talk about how Eric Spoelstra is the best coach in the game and this, that, and the other thing, I do criticize him for not fouling last night. And that shot was not that far off. It was a clean look, and Jamal Murray just missed it.
Yep. If he takes it again, he probably nails it. He probably nails it because he's been really the true star, minus Jokic. It's Jamal Murray, and he didn't have his best game last night. So the Heat took advantage of it. Both teams made a mistake at the end, and Miami holds serve, and they go home now, tied 1-1.
I'd love to see that stat. See the stat on that situation at the end of the game. How many times somebody has an attempt at the 3, a good attempt at the 3, because Jamal Murray had a really good attempt, a good look at the 3, and he just missed it. I foul in that situation 99 times out of 100. Maybe 100 times out of 100.
No, there's no question. They got away with it.
Yeah.
Both teams got away with it. So are you any more interested in the series than you were before? I know you're not a huge...
Yes, I am.
You are.
I absolutely am interested in this series. I think these are 2 really good teams to root for, too.
I agree. I don't mind either team winning. I like to see Miami win underdog.
There's not a player that I hate on either team. I mean,
neither.
The way the Nuggets were built, I mean, Jokic is, he's not a first overall pick. Hell, I don't think he's a first round pick. I think Jokic is a second round pick.
Second round pick, 41 overall.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
So the way they're built, sticking with Mike Malone for 8 years as head coach, when a lot of owners and general managers in cities, if he was playing in New York, if he was coaching in New York, he would have been fired 5 years earlier.
You're fired!
I love Miami. I love Pat Riley. I love Eric Spoelstra, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson. I mean, each side has done it the right way. I mean, this is exactly, I think, the kind of NBA that I want to see.
Did you see the stat on Pat Riley? He's in 25% of the NBA Finals.
So as a player coach, and now president. Yeah.
Yep. Isn't that amazing?
19 NBA Finals. It's
good to see.
A wild.
Good to see.
There you go, gang.
But how about the Pistons for a second? Do we have a break here?
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll talk later about it.
We will get to some Pistons talk. We want to get to Tim Twentyman next, DetroitLions.com. We will take a break, come right back. When we do, we'll talk to Twentyman. Is there a message here, Parker?
Yes, from Randy Wise.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's
Randy
me.
Wise. How about that? That's
You
where
know what?
Braylon is right now.
Randy Wise is going on right now as we speak. How'd you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, and Braylon Edwards play golf with you guys, you average Joes? Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you'll be able to do just that. Could have been doing it today. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice. Pay attention to Woodward Sports for more. We got it coming. Randy Wise is your wise choice.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
How about that rookie? He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Hey, welcome back. WoodwardSports.com. Ryan Ermanni, Tom Mazawey, Braylon out today as part of the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour that we are participating in here at Woodward Sports. So Braylon is out. D-Mac also taking part in that charity outing as well. And Braylon will be out next Monday too. Not out, they are in. Mandatory minicamp starting tomorrow. The Detroit Lions take the field in Allen Park. DetroitLions.com senior writer and insider Tim Twentyman at T20man on Twitter, if you want to find him, is with us now. Tim, how are you, my friend? Thanks so much for the time.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, guys. How you doing? No problem.
Having some trouble hearing you, Tim. We'll get that fixed. Hopefully, I don't know if that's us
Keep
or
talking,
them.
Tim. Maybe we'll hear you eventually.
You guys hear me okay?
No,
No, I'm sorry, Tim. We're working our guy in here, so it's probably not you. It's probably us. But
it's not you.
It's not
it's me.
you. It's me.
That's right. Anyway.
Yes.
Last week, the OTAs, and Thursday.
Oh, wait. They can hear Tim. Maybe that's a you. They say they can hear Tim. Sam? Sorry, guys. We apologize for this. Maybe it's in our other ear. We're just doing this on the fly. We're doing the best we can.
Hang in there,
today.
Tim.
Yeah. There we go. Look at that.
We got you, brother.
It. Thank you.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, sorry, dude. I mean, new operation over here. Hey, Tim, mandatory minicamp tomorrow. There's so many different ways to go with this. But first and foremost, as the Lions hit the field tomorrow in Allen Park, there are so many positive things about the Lions. Everybody's talking about this team. Everybody from all corners of the country. How difficult is it going to be for them or how easy will it be for them to not read any of the press clippings, for Dan Campbell to say, guys, we got to work here. This is part of putting the work in. Will that be kind of job one right now, is just to put your head down and focus?
Yeah, I don't think it's really an issue with this team. I mean, you look at last year, and yes, they're getting a lot of publicity, they're getting a lot of national love, but if you talk to those guys in that locker room, they didn't accomplish anything last year. I mean, yeah, they had a nice finish, but, their goal was to make it to the playoffs. They didn't do that. Their goal was to be playing meaningful football in January and be part of the discussion in the playoffs in the NFC, and they didn't reach that goal. So, yes, it's great that teams love what they're building. They can see some of the young pieces that they have and look at the potential, but that's what it is. It's potential. And those guys know that they have to put their heads down. They've got to go to work. They've got to start getting off to better starts. And so there's a lot of work to be done in Allen Park, and I don't think any of those guys in that building are listening to outside noise. They know what they need to do to get to where they want to go in 2023.
Tim, how easy is it? I mean, start of the season, it's going to be everybody's going to be excited, but to play the Chiefs in the opener, how much? Just looking at it from a college point of view. I mean, if Michigan's playing Notre Dame, they're probably looking forward to it all year long, as opposed to Coastal Carolina or something like that. I mean, the Lions are playing the friggin' Kansas City Chiefs in the opener. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and there's a lot of excitement in Allen Park for that. Obviously, I think what it says is the league likes where this team is headed. They like some of the young pieces. I mean, look, the last time this team was on national television, what were they doing? They were going into Green Bay and knocking the Green Bay Packers out of the playoffs and knocking Aaron Rodgers essentially out of the division. And so that was the lasting impression the NFL had on the Detroit Lions. And so, they look at some of the young pieces, Nate Hutchinson, the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year, and 4 Pro Bowlers on offense, and the number 4 offense in the league last year. Some of the stuff they've done to improve their defense in the offseason and the draft. And I think what it does is it just kind of validates some of the things that Brad Holmes has done. But now they've got to go and obviously compete. And I think it's a great measuring stick for this football team and for Dan Campbell too. And I hope he'll use that as a measuring stick. I mean, look, you're playing the big boys now. You're going against the defending champion, the defending MVP, the number 1 offense in the league. How much better is your defense? And so, it's a validation of what they've done on paper, and now they've got to go control their part of it on the field, and it should be fun. And Dan Campbell's going to know exactly where his team stands after week 1.
Hey, Tim, how did the rookies look in the OTAs? You got Jack Campbell, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, just to name 3. What's Hendon Hooker doing, by the way? What do you got for me?
Yeah, well, Hendon's, not taking part yet, obviously still rehabbing that knee, very much involved. One thing I liked about Hendon is, and it's maybe just something I observed, but they were stretching during one of the OTAs, and he was just going around talking to everybody. Kind of like what you see pregame with the head coach goes and pats a guy on the head and has a little conversation. Hendon Hooker was doing that with everybody on the field. Wants to be a leader, and I think that maybe stood out to me. He's a very likable guy, very smart guy, and it'll be fun to see what he's got when he's back on the field, hopefully later in the year. I think 2 guys that have stood out to me, at least among the rookies, Jahmyr Gibbs, 4.3 is legit, and you guys, they're using him as a receiver just as much as they are a running back too. You're going to see him line up out wide in the slot, and you're going to see him and David Montgomery on the field, I think, a lot together because of what Jahmyr Gibbs is able to do as a receiver. So he's been fun to watch. And another one for me is Sam Laporta. He's got a terrific ability to separate at the top of his route. He's got great speed. He's been making a lot of catches, through the rookie minicamp and through the first OTAs, and I think he's going to be a big part of what they do offensively. So those are 2 guys that have stood out. Jack Campbell getting second-team reps, and that's really kind of what this time is. You've got to earn your first-team reps. You've got to earn your way up as you learn the playbook now that you're with the vets. But he's looked good. I think one thing that stood out to him is his speed. For a guy who's 6'4.5", 250 pounds, I didn't expect him to be as fast as he is, or at least that I've seen through the OTAs and the minicamp. So I think that's one promising thing. There's one play, him and Jamar Jackson ran all the way down the field, about 40 yards, and they were racing to the end zone, and Jack was step for step with Jamar. So it was good to see. Those are maybe a couple things that have stood out amongst the youngsters.
Hey, Tim, about David Montgomery and Malcolm Rodriguez. I know they got hurt a few weeks ago. Did you see them back on the field? Are they looking like they're going to be full speed ahead?
Yeah, they weren't back at last week's OTAs. We'll see what minicamp brings, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But Dan Campbell did address it and said it was nothing major. I mean, this is June, right? May and June. So
of course.
It's all about, being cautious more than anything else. Neither injury was serious, just kind of a bumps and bruise. And you're going to be overly cautious in May and June so that they can hit the ground running in July. We'll see this week, but it's nothing to worry about.
Cool.
Talking to Tim Twentyman, DetroitLions.com senior writer, insider on Twitter at T20man. Just sticking with the injuries for a second, is there any concern at all with Frank Ragnow, Tim? And if so, how much? And then you've got a number of guys that were hurt last year, whether it was Vaitai, Pascal, Okwara, Tracy Walker. What about those guys, and where are they as we head into, mini camp, training camp in July in the season forthcoming?
Yeah, it's pretty good on the injury front, guys. I mean, when you talk about Frank, look, it's something he's going to deal with. And with it last year, and he played at a Pro Bowl level. And so there's not a lot of concern with me there. Just knowing Frank personally, how tough he is, he's going to deal with that injury, and he's going to play through it, and he'll play at a Pro Bowl level. So there's not a lot of concern there. And the other guys, it's looking good. Romeo's back. Obviously, Big V's back. I had him on my podcast last week, and he's real excited about feeling good. And he contemplated retirement a little bit, but just missed it and got back. And he's had no issues with the back. He's looked good. And for an offensive line that was one of the best in football, to get Big V back at that right guard spot, they could be even better this year. And so, Pascal, we didn't see him until late October last year because of the core muscle injury. He's good to go. He's mixing in already with the first and second team defense, and he's another guy that showed some juice at the end of last year, who's now going to be able to be healthy to start this year. So there's the only real injury that concerns you right now is Levi Onwuzurike, but it looks like he's trending in the right direction. He's been out there and not practicing, but he's been getting in his stance, and I've been seeing fire off, and he's been doing some things on the side, so that's encouraging, and you hope to get him back in training camp. But other than that, they're looking pretty healthy, and they've got all their guys back.
Tim, you mentioned the offensive line and how much better that the unit, which is already really good, if not great, can be with Vaitai back and Graham Glasgow. You look at the linebacker room now, the defensive back room. I mean, this roster as a whole is about as complete as you can possibly have, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's hard to find a ton of weaknesses. I think maybe one to me would be if you suffered an injury along the interior defensive line. You sign Covington. Obviously, you have Aleem. You've got Bugs. You've got some versatile guys that you can mix and match. We talked about Pascal. He can move in there, and you can do some things. Kaminsky as well. But I think true 330 plus, interior guys. Broderick Martin's another one, but he's a rookie. If you get one or two injuries, maybe you're a little short in the interior of the defensive line, but I think that's really it. I think the fun thing about the next 3 days for me is going to be watching the secondary. That's where Brad Holmes really decided that they had to get better this offseason. You bring in C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You bring in Emmanuel Mosley. You bring in Cam Sutton, who's looked good through the OTAs. We haven't seen Emmanuel yet, but he's going to get back soon. You draft Brian Branch. That's a really different unit than what we saw this time last year. And I just through the first few weeks, I've been noticing a lot more hands-on balls, some more, balls hitting the ground. I think the competitive level in that secondary is much better than it's been. I think that'll be where kind of my eyes focus the next 3 days is how improved is that secondary? How improved is that defense overall? Because if they're just marginally better on defense, guys, this is going to be a really, really dangerous team to contend with.
You didn't even talk about the kickers yet. Come on now, Tim. We got a kicking battle here. You got Michael Badgley, who I'm not a big fan of. Sorry. You trade for Riley Patterson, who they never should have let go. And now you got this kid, John Parker Romo from the XFL, who I hear can
Big
bang
leg.
him. He can bang him from 60 yards out. I bet you all three of these guys will be on a team this year. But which one is kicking for us?
Yeah, that'll be, training camp's going to decide that. It's funny with Parker Romo, during last week's OTAs, they had a little kicking competition, him and Riley Patterson, and he was perfect. And look, he was 17-19 in the XFL over the spring. Lions signed him. He's got a big leg. He made a couple of those over 60 yards. And look, when you talk about Badgley, when you talk about Patterson, guys that have done it in this league, are very accurate, but don't have the biggest of legs. Right. You're going to have to make a decision at 58, 59 yards. Late in the game, if you've got Badgley or Patterson. I think that's the in for Romo. If he can stay accurate and he's got the bigger leg than the two, then I think that's his avenue to make the team. But really, it's just going to come down to training camp and who is consistently the guy that puts it through the upright. I think that's one competition that's pretty easy to evaluate in the end. We get to mark them down and jot them down every day at practice. Obviously, a lot more goes into it, but I think that'll play itself out just as it did last year in training camp.
Hey, Tim, last question for you, and I made it to the end, but we can't not have you on and not ask about Jameson Williams. How big is this mini camp for him? And I guess every opportunity he's on the field is going to be big for him, but all eyes seem to be on him, because this is the only time we're going to see him really, and, obviously out for the first 6 games. He's got training camp and exhibition as well, but these are big moments for him, aren't they?
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for him to build that chemistry with Jared, and that's the biggest thing. That's what this time is for. Obviously, he'll continue that in training camp, and then look, he's got to step away from the team. I think what it is he's got to step away for 4 weeks, then he can come back and play. Obviously, he has to sit the 2 more games out, the 6 games, but I think you just want to get to a point before that suspension where you're feeling pretty good about the relationship that he's built with Jared Goff, how he fits in to this offense. They're going to play him all over, so it's incumbent on him to learn the X, learn the Z, learn all the different spots they wanna put him. Have some good presence in the preseason, and then look when you've got to be away, stay with it, stay trained, and then you're ready to come back in 4 weeks practice, and then you're ready to kick it off week 7. So this is important time to kind of build that chemistry, see what he can do in this offense, and we've already seen through the OTAs and the last couple of weeks, his ability to stretch the field, how that's become maybe a little bit bigger part. I think a few more deeper shots than I can remember in past OTAs. So that's the element he brings. And so the more you can build that chemistry with your quarterback, that's the important time here and then in training camp before he's got to go away.
All right, Tim Twentyman, really appreciate your time, my friend. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
enjoy being outside. Going to be a beautiful day in Allen Park the next 3 days. No rain, highs in the 70s.
Oh, perfect.
Very enjoyable experience. Check out, yeah, exactly.
Hey, tell O'Hara we said hey as well.
Yeah.
I will do that, boys.
All right, Tim Twentyman,
Tim.
DetroitLions.com, senior writer and insider, has a podcast as well. You can follow him on Twitter at @T20man. Lots of exciting Detroit Lions news to talk about. We will get there next, but first a message from Planet Fitness.
Absolutely.
All
Planet
right, Sammy.
Fitness is thrilled to allow high schoolers ages 14 through 19 in the United States and Canada to work out for free all summer long, beginning now through August 31st. Teens can register anytime and officially gain access to the club when they register, with registration open during the summer months through August 31st. And for all the rest of us wonderful people, Planet Fitness has all the best amenities with membership starting at only $10 a month, or you can get the black card.
Only
for
$10?
Only $10. Wow. What a steal. Or you can be a high roller and upgrade to the black card for $24.99 per month. Join today in club or online, or visit planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
WoodwardSports.com. Thanks to everybody who is tuning in. If you are watching on YouTube, hit that like button for us. Let's see if we can get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment. You know, the funny thing is hearing Tim talk about all of the different units for the Detroit Lions, whether it's on the offensive line, at linebacker, and defensive back. You know, linebacker and defensive back specifically, Tom, you know, those were two units that were very thin last year and not very good. But this is
amazing. It's amazing now.
And now they're going to cut good players. I mean, there is going to be NFL caliber talent that will be signed from the Detroit Lions roster. So I just think that just speaks to how good this roster has gotten in 3 years.
All the way to kicker.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, all three of these guys will kick for an NFL team this
agree.
year. And I hope we get the best guy. I don't know who the hell it is. They gave a draft pick up for Riley Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, right now, I would say he has the lead. They already signed Badgley to a decent deal. And they bring this kid in, Parker Romo from the XFL. I think he probably could outkick them both. So we'll see how that rolls, man. But the best part of the whole OTAs to me was seeing Jahmyr Gibbs get back on that field. Because remember, he got hurt, twisted his ankle?
Yep.
He got back out, and you could just see that this kid is going to be special. And I just can't wait when it's all said and done. And people, you know, were hard on the Lions, a lot of them, for taking Jahmyr Gibbs at that point when they could have sat where they wanted and grabbed your guy from Texas, Bijan Robinson. Yep. But they decide this is the guy they wanted. They make a couple of trades, pick up some extra picks, and Jahmyr Gibbs is here. Sam Laporta. They're all like, Sam Laporta? How about the kid from Notre Dame? I already forgot his name.
Michael Mayer.
Michael Mayer.
I interviewed Michael Montry today from the Detroit Grand Prix, so I was thinking Montry.
I got to talk about that with you, too.
Yeah, we will, yeah.
But, you know, you get Sam Laporta. You know, he's this big guy, and he's got wheels, and he's going to be used more than a tight end, more than a blocking guy. He's going to be almost a wide receiver type of a tight end, which I'm looking forward to. And then you got Jack Campbell, probably the biggest linebacker, one of the biggest linebackers in the NFL. How tall he is, how much he weighs. And you heard Tim Twentyman, the guy's got wheels. He can run. He ran with Jamar Jackson all the way down the field and stayed stride for stride with him. There's a lot going on with this team. And like you said, man, when you brought up all the different parts of the team, there really is no weakness. I do wish that they had a backup quarterback that I could depend on. They seem to like Nate Sudfeld. By the way, there's a lot of there's some quarterbacks still out there, including Teddy Bridgewater. He has not signed with anybody yet. And I wish they had another offensive lineman. I wish Evan Brown never got to leave to go to Seattle, to be honest with you. I know they got Graham Glasgow to back up.
And they got Vaitai back.
You don't know what you're going to get from him. But the center, man, that's the piece that you need. And Frank Ragnow is playing with 9 toes.
He does feel superhuman in a little bit of a way, though, too. I mean, last year, Taylor Decker was playing with a pretty significant injury as well that we knew nothing about, and he played at a Pro Bowl.
That's offensive lineman
level.
for
But
you.
that is exactly right. Those offensive linemen and those defensive linemen, they are a different breed of guy. They just don't care about pain. They don't care about injuries. They just play through it. If they can walk, they'll play through it.
Now, to hear about not Vaitai, but Levi Onwuzurike. Levi Onwuzurike is a guy I didn't even think is ever going to play again, right? And I don't know if they ever thought he'd play again with a back injury. But to hear that he's still with the team, they have not given up on him, they must really love what this kid can bring to the team. God may. If God can keep him together and he could feel good and give us something, man, that's a bonus.
You know, we've mentioned this in the past, but just going back to all the different units that we were talking about with Tim Twentyman, you know, the offensive linemen, the defensive backs, the linebackers, running back position, everywhere on the Lions roster feels like it's so just thick. It's got a ton of
it does.
They have depth. Depth, except, believe it or not, wide receiver.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, if you think about the first 6 weeks, you've got correct me, tell me if I'm missing somebody.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
He's your 1.
Marvin Jones.
2.
Josh Reynolds.
Probably a 3.
Khalif Raymond.
Yeah, he's going to play a lot.
What happens if one of those guys goes down in the first 6 weeks? I mean, you're already pulling from the Tom Kennedys of the situation. Now, I know they drafted that. I think it was a 6th or 7th rounder from North Carolina.
They did.
Forgot his name. His name escapes me now.
Antoine Green.
What is it?
Antoine Green.
Antoine Green. I mean, a lot of people like him, but he's a rookie. We don't know, anything about him.
Hopefully they stole one there.
Yeah, absolutely. I just, I am concerned about that group for whatever reason.
I would not mind them signing another wide receiver.
But I guess that's where Laporta comes in, too.
Correct. That's what they say.
Yeah, I guess that's where Laporta comes in a little bit. So it's definitely going to be interesting.
Are you okay with the backup quarterback?
No, but again,
if Goff goes down, you have Nate Sudfeld.
There is no perfect roster in the NFL. It just doesn't exist. You can make an offer for Teddy Bridgewater all you want. If that report was true, that they extended Teddy Bridgewater a pretty decent number, and he's not here yet, there's nothing you can do about it. No. And I said the same thing about the Pistons and Monty Williams.
Correct.
You can offer the contract. You can't beg somebody to be here if they don't want to be here. I don't know what Teddy Bridgewater, what his plans are, but if the report was true from a couple of weeks ago that they did make a run at him.
They did.
And he just didn't take it, then it's Nate Sudfeld. Jared Goff has been pretty reliable. He feels like, and knock on wood 1,000,000 times. Knock on wood 1,000,000 times. I think if you had, what are the 14 teams that make the playoffs?
Yep.
Probably 12 of them, if their starting quarterback went down,
would be in trouble.
They would be in trouble and maybe on the verge of not making the playoffs.
Well, the Niners basically play with a backup quarterback.
Yeah, that's a unique situation. That's definitely a unique situation. I mean, how many Brock Purdy's are there in the National Football League? I mean, we don't know that answer.
Right. He's out this year. He's not playing.
No, but I'm just saying, like, how many teams have a Brock Purdy in their back pocket?
Yeah.
But
not many.
That quarterback system, that quarterback coach system with Brian Griese and Kyle Schottenheimer, Shanahan, it feels like they have it pretty set up, though.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
They have a system.
They know what they're doing. But I'll tell you, Hendon Hooker could be Brock Purdy. I know he was 3rd round compared to 7th round, but we would hope that he could do what Brock Purdy did at least going forward. Now, how about a guy that I've watched so far in camp, and he's going to get you and me off the hook from Malik Willis, and his name is Anthony Richardson. I've watched this guy in camp, and the word is he is spectacular. And I know it's only camp, but I am telling you, this is the guy that's getting us off the hook, right?
Yeah, this is a guy we wanted at 6, and then ultimately, it was discussed leading up to the draft that we don't have to worry here in Detroit about taking Anthony Richardson at 6 because
he'll be gone.
He was going to be gone by 6, and he was gone at 4. So, that is what it is. But the Lions, look, if Hendon Hooker was healthy this year, he would have been a top 5 pick.
We think.
I think, absolutely, he would have been. So, quarterback is not the Lions' problem
Will Levis
right now.
slipped to the 2nd round, so Hooker could have slipped to the could have fallen as well.
Yeah. Again, if 12 of 14 quarterbacks of playoff teams, if their starter went down,
Playoffs.
They're not winning many
Correct.
games. I mean, is Philadelphia winning the NFC without Jalen Hurts?
No, they're not.
San Francisco clearly is not. I mean, Chad Henne did lead the Kansas City Chiefs on a touchdown drive of 98 yards or whatever it was, but it was one drive, and it was long enough. He did not have to do anything more than one drive for the team.
What a great gig.
What a great way to go out.
What a
too,
great gig
right?
to have all these years.
No doubt. So, so it's definitely something to keep an eye on. But hopefully the Lions have invested in their offensive line. They're a running team. They're a smash mouth team, and they can throw the ball around. And they have one of the most unique offensive coordinators too in the NFL. A guy who's creative and is going to put a lot of different players in a position to succeed. So,
by the way,
all positive things.
Have you seen what Penei Sewell looks like this year?
Monster.
He is, the baby fat's gone. He is all man. And I know Woodward Sports put a little something out over the weekend just to revisit him against Aaron Donald. And it gave me the chills again. Remember when he stood up, face mask to face mask with Aaron Donald? Aaron Donald grabbed his face mask. Penei pushed him back, grabbed his face mask. There's nothing better that I love to see than that.
Probably going to be a Hall of Famer.
Let's get him to the Pro Bowl first.
Let's make him an All-Pro first.
Let's do that. All-Pro.
You go Pro Bowler.
Yes. Then
All-Pro. Then Hall of Fame. All right, we'll get there first. Those are the steps. Guys, let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. I'm wearing the shirt loud and proud today. Les Stanford Buick GMC. Same great service that customers have come to know for over 50 years. They have moved to, they have added a location in Ferndale with the Buick GMC brand. Go check them out on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. Later this month, we'll be broadcasting live from there. Of course, looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, right there on Michigan Avenue. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella, LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
How about that rookie? He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hour number 2 of the program. Ryan Ermanni, Tom Mazawey here. Braylon out today. He'll be out today and next Monday, part of the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour that we are taking a part in. Good stuff. It is golf season. Maz'z hates golf season.
Oh, despise it.
I went on a golf trip last week. It was out Thursday, Friday. Braylon out today and Monday because of golf.
Oh.
His buddy, neighbor who?
Max?
Your neighbor.
Oh, my neighbor.
Yes. That was helping you with the pool.
Oh, Phil.
Phil. Hey,
Yeah.
Phil. Hey, Phil.
Thanks, Phil.
Neighbor Phil, who Maz'z needed his help with the pool this weekend.
No, I needed my brother-in-law.
You needed his. Oh,
my brother-in-law, and he went away to play golf as well.
So
neighbor Phil stepped in instead.
Lots of golf happening.
Golf and me just don't get along.
Lots of golf happening.
Except Tiger Woods.
Yeah, that's very good. Hey, want to get a thought as we begin hour number 2 here on the Detroit Tigers.
Oh, the Tigers.
I feel like we should put the funeral music in.
Not yet.
Because I think the Tigers... Remember when the Detroit Red Wings had a home-and-home series? I think it was against the Ottawa Senators this year. And it was a really big 4 points that the Red Wings needed to stay alive a little bit in the
playoff
race.
Were they going to be buyers or sellers?
And they lost.
They got slaughtered.
They lost them both. Well, I think you can put a lid on the 2022 season for the Detroit Tigers. This is the stretch that killed them. Riley Green's injury is just too much for this team to overcome. 3 runs in 3 games against the Chicago White Sox, one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball. 13 hits, not in a game, not in 2 games. 13 hits and 3 runs in the entire 3-game series. Riley Green is the straw that stirs the drink.
They did
with
lose
this
one
ball
close
club.
game.
They,
Extra innings.
They lost 2 close games,
Yeah.
really. I mean, they lost a 2-1 on a wild pitch and then a grand slam in the 9th.
Yeah, right.
So they lost 3 close games, really.
Because this other game was tied in the 8th.
Yeah, so they just don't have it. This was it.
What's the record right now?
They're 4 games under 500.
Okay, how many games behind the Twins?
They will be 7 games under 500 after the Philadelphia Phillies sweep them.
Well, the Phillies haven't been playing great, and they have injuries as well, but they are in Philadelphia against the National League champions. They get the Twins.
Excuse me, they're 5 games under 500.
They get the Twins like 7 times this month.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's over yet. How many are they behind the Twins right now?
3.5 games.
That's nothing.
But the Cleveland Guardians,
Yeah, they're going to come. They're going to be they're going to be on the path.
I mean, the Chicago White Sox are 9 games under 500 and 5.5 games out of first.
Anybody
So
wins that division.
The division.
That's why you can't count them out yet.
But I am okay. They've got to win a series for me. They got to get closer. But you're 5 games under 500. You're no good to me.
I hear you.
You get close to 500, I'll start paying attention again. But they did what I needed them to do. They got me to they got me to Memorial Day.
Don't quit yet.
I'm quitting for now.
Can I read you a text that my friend Rick Lynn sent me?
Did he quit, Rick Lynn?
Rick Lynn quit.
Okay.
Rick's a good friend
I like
of mine.
you, Rick.
Coached my daughters in softball at St. Joan of Arc. He is the salt of the earth. Always goes to as many games as possible. No bigger Tiger fan than Rick Lynn. Here's what he wrote me. Maz'z.
Okay, Rick Lynn.
Rick Lynn.
Okay, good.
3 runs in 27 innings. I'm out. It will just be baseball for me. Not going to be putting any effort in and watching if they somehow get to 500. I'll re-engage if they do. Just ridiculous. Like you said, 3 runs in 27 innings against a team that was 10 games under 500. I'm beyond tired of the year after year. All these guys in the minors are tearing it up. You know, where you never hear the Tampa Bay Ray fans. None of them show up. They don't care. The Rays are 40-19. Look at the Tiger fans compared to the Rays fans. They just don't bring guys up. They immediately deliver when these guys come up with Tampa Bay. I'm done. The last time this team produced any minor leaguers was 1977. Oh, and those players led to the last World Series here 39 years ago. And how many times are we going to celebrate the 84 Tigers?
Seriously.
I mean, and Mike O'Hara said this to me years ago. Maz'z, if you look at the Tigers from post-World War II, they are a losing team.
Terrible franchise.
And they're a historic team. The Old English D. I have one on my license plate. I order special. I rep the Tigers. How much Tiger gear do I have? I come from New York, where most of the time there's a winning team there. The Yankees, they haven't won since 09. The Mets, they haven't won since 86. But they'll give you something. And I know they overspend. They're a big market. The Tigers are a mid-market. But for them to go from what this team was from 06 to 14 to this now, it's not good. And this team, like I told you, was a ragtag team held together with spit and shoe polish that I actually enjoyed watching. I'm not giving up on them yet. And they are definitely undermanned, especially with Riley Green down, Eduardo Rodriguez still on the DL, or IL as they call it, because the DL now is disparaging, I guess. So nonetheless, I'm still not going to give up.
Is that why they do that?
Yeah.
I had
disabled.
no idea.
You can't say disabled.
I had no idea.
It's the injured list. It's not the disabled list anymore. Okay, the DL is no good.
I had no idea that's why they did that.
Yes, that's why they did it.
Oh, God.
So I turn it over to you, Ryan. You want to quit? You could quit. I'm not giving up yet. Don't get swept by the Phillies. And like when you play a good team and it's 3 games, you got to win 1 of the 3. When you play the crap like you played against the White Sox, you got to take 2 out of 3 or sweep. And they were close to doing that. They just fell short.
What's your buddy's name that wrote the text?
Rick Lynn.
Rick Lynn is correct. And again, this is a really tough stretch here. I mean, you're talking 3 with Philadelphia, 3 with Arizona, and 3 with Atlanta before you can get to the Twins.
That's a killer.
That's 9 games. Realistically, in your best case scenario, you're 3-6. Probably. You're 3-6.
Yeah.
So that takes you 8 games under 500.
So it's 3-9 with the 3 losses we just had.
Yeah.
That's a bad stretch.
That's a bad stretch, and it's a stretch that you just can't overcome. You're not good enough to overcome that stretch right now without your best pitcher in Eduardo Rodriguez and without your best hitter in Riley Green.
Yeah.
It's just too much to overcome, and that's why I agree with your friend who wrote you the text, because I love baseball. I love the Tigers, and I will take it for what it's worth. But the days of talking to my buddies about who the Twins have and should we go to the ballpark and planning for this.
Don't quit yet.
Okay, how about this? If they win tonight, I won't quit. If they win tonight, I'm quit.
Okay.
Fair?
I don't sound fair, but okay.
Why did it sound fair?
Because you're basing your season on 1 game?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Sam, are you engaged at all with these Tigers going forward?
I'm more in line with Ryan Ermanni and Rick Lynn. I will always watch because I do love baseball and I do love the Tigers, but even when Riley Green and Eduardo Rodriguez were healthy, the Tigers season was a little bit of a fugazi even then. At one point, they were 2 games behind the Twins, and they had a minus 99 run differential between those 2 teams. They've always been playing a little bit over their head, and now with Riley Green being out, he was the one guy that had actually panned out and was actually working out to what we thought his potential was. He goes down, and now you worry about him being injury prone. Eduardo Rodriguez was having a Cy Young caliber season, and he goes down. And now they're left with a guy like Joey Wentz, who in 11 starts has an ERA over 7.
Okay, you got Faedo.
Faedo, though, has had 5 starts, and he's now on the injured list, I believe.
Yes.
5.54 ERA. You think that Alex Faedo has been good, but when you look at the numbers, having an ERA over 5.50 is not good. The one...
He's got a real good spin rate.
Is it really? That's the
good velo.
Hey, and Spencer Torkelson, he has the loudest outs in the game,
Oh,
right? But
big
even
exit velo.
But even him, on base percentage of 315. They've always been a
Good
little
defense.
bit of a fugazi. So I think they're done, especially given the injuries of Riley
How about
Green and
Alex
Eduardo
Lang,
Rodriguez.
one of the best relievers in the game, got a reliever of the month in the American League?
Alex Lang has been absolutely fantastic, but even he in the last game gave up 4 runs in the 9th and lost, and his ERA ballooned to 2.55.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I mean, that's going to happen. I don't blame him. The guy
Absolutely.
can't be perfect for the season.
Matt Manning's coming back soon.
That's big.
great. Can he hit?
No.
Because pitching is not this team's problem. It's hitting. They can't hit.
Yeah, no, they can't. They have a bunch of no-names.
Gosh.
They got a bunch of no-names. Like I said, they're slapped together with spit and shoe polish. But they're doing the best they can with a first-year general manager that's trying to turn everything around from the worst minor leagues. That's right, the worst.
And we'll
to
give them a
now
chance.
maybe become one of the better ones.
And we'll give them a chance.
We got
you
no
know?
choice.
And yeah, we don't have it. Well, you do have a choice because I think a lot of people, we get used to, when you lose like this, you get used to doing other things. I mean,
you don't like going to the ballpark. You haven't taken your kids down to the ballpark
once
yet.
this
That's
year.
right, one time.
One time this year. It was a Sunday afternoon.
It's fun, man.
Yeah, it is. But again, how do you get excited about there's nobody to get. Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson. When this team wins a championship, if this team wins a championship, it's been 39 years. Those are the only 2 guys that are going to be in the lineup that you're watching right now.
Maybe.
Probably, most likely. It's like, you're so far away. And again, it's hard to watch crap. The bottom line is it is hard to watch crap. The Pistons, the Red Wings, the Tigers. And now the Red Wings, I feel like, shouldn't be part of the conversation, but the Pistons have been a bunch of losers for 18 years.
Yeah, and counting.
And the Tigers have been a bunch of losers for 10 years.
Yep.
Really? That's a lot of years to suck
Hey,
and
look,
care.
When I put on the TV, and it's always going to go to baseball first, unless it's a playoff game, I'll always put on MLB Network, see what game is on there. Even though I know the Tigers are on Bally's, 201. I always check to see if there are other games first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll put on the Tigers, lower the volume a little bit, and listen to some music and try to watch the game.
Problems, man. You got problems. All right, guys. Maz'z, I want to do your confidence divisions next.
Oh, I waited for you.
Yeah, I want them. This is the Tom Mazawey Division Championship Confidence Meter. It is coming. Are the Lions on this list?
And
where are they on
a lot
this
of
list?
other good NFL stuff I got for you.
We'll get to that next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. Means you're backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800-STAY-OUT. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Stay out. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
That's for Jason.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
All right, we have waited for it. You didn't even know you wanted it. You didn't even know you needed it. But here it is. Tom Mazawey has his division winners, the confidence meter. Here we go, Maz'z. Take it away, buddy.
Look at that. Look at that. Huh? That's a beautiful
It's a
thing.
great graphic.
That is a beautiful
It's
thing.
a great graphic. Let me see. Okay. I've got a couple of differences from you, but go ahead and explain it, Maz'z.
All right, I'm going to start off with number. Do I go backwards or
This
go
is
forwards?
8, number 8.
There it is. Number 8 is the Buffalo Bills. And you see the man, Josh Allen.
This is the way to do it, by the way, too.
It
Great
is.
job.
It is.
Is that you, Parker?
It's JB.
All right, JB, great job.
We miss you, JB, today. Parker doing a great job as well. Thank you to Sam. But number 8, and the reason I have the Bills at number 8 is because that is a tough division. You got the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jets reborn with Aaron Rodgers, and the New England Patriots, who are not schlock, as a lot of people think they are. I got the Bills winning this division because I think they've been the best team in the AFC, minus the Kansas City Chiefs, for a bunch of years, especially with Josh Allen leading that team. I know they made a couple of changes, good some draft picks in there. I still think they're weak on the running game. We'll see how it goes. But I got the Bills winning the AFC East, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean,
and
look.
I'm putting them at number 8 because I still think it's a little shaky.
I think Miami's a really difficult team, although who knows about Tua Tagovailoa. Is he going to finish the season? Which
He's got the new
direction do they
helmet,
go?
though.
Yes, he does. If he can't play, how's that going to fare? And then where's Aaron Rodgers and the Jets? How quickly does it take to
I
take
hope you're
off?
right because you had the Jets.
Yeah, I did. I did have
hope
the
you're
Jets.
right.
I just think that thing is going to go more in line with the Matthew Stafford Rams, Tom Brady Bucks, than Russell Wilson Broncos thing. Yeah.
I get it.
There you go.
So that takes us to number 7, which I think is another tough division. This is my Super Bowl favorite. It's the Cincinnati Bengals. But to win the division in the AFC North is tough. You got the rebuilt Ravens with Lamar Jackson, a very happy and now healthy Lamar Jackson. You have the Steelers, who refuse to play under 500 in any season possible, which is pretty good. You got Mike Tomlin coaching them. And then you got Ryan's Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson and a revamped offensive line, revamped wide receivers. They already had a pretty damn good defense. And I was just in Cleveland last week, and I saw the way First Energy Stadium looked. They got all those flags out. They're ready for their Cleveland Browns to play right there by Lake Erie. So that's a tough division, but I like the Bengals to sneak it out, Rye, and win that North.
Look, Cincinnati, and that has been your pick for the Super Bowl.
Correct.
You love Cincinnati, but it just goes to show you how difficult. I think this might be one of the most underrated divisions in football, because Baltimore is going to be a team that plays on a mission this year with the new contract that Lamar Jackson has.
Health.
With Odell Beckham Jr., with Zay Flowers. They are healthy. They do have a running game. They do have a really good defense still. John Harbaugh, I think, is playing for his job this year.
He's got a lot to prove.
He is absolutely coaching for his job this year. And then Cleveland, poo-poo on Cleveland all you want.
I'm not.
You did not pay a guy $250 million guaranteed to have him suck. You know, I just think that's a player and a team, Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns, that they could be a dark horse to do some damage this year.
No doubt. They could make the playoffs. There could be 3 playoff teams from that team.
I would
division.
not be shocked about it.
Let's go to number 6, who I think is one of the better teams in the league, minus the quarterback spot. It's hurting them, but it's the San Francisco 49ers.
And I've got Seattle winning this division now.
And I like Seattle. Talk about a team that was on the rebuild last year, still made the playoffs, beat out the Lions not only once but twice. Beat them in the regular season, beat them out for a playoff spot, and then beat them off. Beat them off for a draft pick. They even picked ahead of the Lions. Yes, the Seattle Seahawks beat off the Detroit Lions. So the 49ers are coming in 7th. Make that 6th for me in the NFC West. Right?
Oh, my God. That is so
man.
funny. I think this is one of the teams that is just so hard to handicap this year. The San Francisco 49ers. They look like they are one of the, if not the most complete team in all of football, except at one position.
Yep.
And that's the
QB.
quarterback position, which is the most important position. And you saw in the playoff game against Philadelphia, if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have anything.
Correct.
And you could talk to me all you want about San Francisco's defense. I don't care. Good offense will beat a good defense 10 times out of 10.
Right now.
In this climate,
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. In this climate, I was just trying to make a point.
I got you.
But in this climate of the NFL, good offense will beat good defense any day of the week.
You heard Nick Saban. It ain't your old father's. It's not your grandfather's.
It's not your older
anymore.
brother's
It's not
NFL anymore.
It's not. It's completely different. And like you said, and you stuck with it. The Lions had a terrific offense last year. You wanted them to do what?
Make it greater.
And they did.
Make what you do great, greater.
Number 5, speaking of those Honolulu blue, silver with maybe black accents eventually. It's our Detroit Lions. Can we hear from Sheila Ford, please?
Lions fan.
Thank you, Sheila. I've got you at number 5, and I'd have you higher if I'm one of the guys that actually still believe in the Minnesota Vikings. The Purple Gang, I don't think they're going anywhere. Yes, they won all those one-score games last year. What was their record in one-score games?
11-0 in one-score games.
They're probably not going to go 11-0. But if they go 9-2, 8-3,
or if they go 5-5,
well, they could
6.
do that as well if you think so. I still think Minnesota is a tough team and a tough out in that division. Lions went 5-1 last year in their division. I believe they do that again. It's the rest of the schedule that scares me a little bit, but I like the Lions. If they're going to win their first division since, what was it, 93?
93.
This is the time, guys. It's 30 years. It's time to win the division. The Chicago Bears, I think, are an afterthought. Definitely on the uprise. And the Packers, I think, will be third best this year. Still not counting out the Green Bay Packers. But I don't think they compete this year with the Lions and the Vikings.
Now, my confidence on the Detroit Lions, we do differ a little bit here. I had them at number 2 on my division championship confidence meter. 1, because I don't think Minnesota knows who they are right now. I don't think Minnesota knows who they want to be. They're talking about,
Dalvin Cook.
We're going to release Dalvin Cook. We're going to not release Dalvin Cook. We're going to keep Dalvin Cook. We're going to
make Alex Madison our number 1 back. They said they're going to really use Madison this year.
Yeah, and then, you want to be a throwing team. You want to be a running team. I don't think they know what they want to do.
Well, you got one of the best receivers in the game in Justin Jefferson. You just don't like Kirk Cousins.
I don't think he's a good quarterback. That's not fair. He's a good quarterback. I don't think he's some elite quarterback that you can win consistently, every season.
First guy to get $40 million a year.
Yeah,
they've caught him now, but the Vikings like him that much. Remember when it was time? We're going to let him go. What are we going to do? Let's just give him $40 million a year and keep him.
Yeah. All right. We did the 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Yep.
Let's do 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Big Boy.
Let's go. It's Strawberry Fest at Big Boy. You know it. Ryan's back in town this week. You know that means one
Get
thing.
ready.
Him and Lukey are going to Big Boy. It's Strawberry Fest. Start off with the breakfast strawberry hotcakes or the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. If you're not in the mood for breakfast, why not? But it's okay. You can have a snack, lunch, or dinner with that strawberry bacon chicken wrap, or cool off with their refreshing the Summer Splash salad. Don't you dare leave without dessert. The classic strawberry pie, a little fresh whipped cream on that, the deep fried vanilla Oreo, or the strawberry hot fudge cake. That, plus, you can get a Big Boy. What else would you go to Big Boy for, right? Get to Big Boy. Ryan and Lukey will.
Oh, yeah.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Hey, welcome back to WoodwardSports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button for us. Let's get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment. Ryan Ermanni and Tom Mazawey
We're
in
still
the big
under
chair
100
today.
likes?
Yeah, still under 100 likes. It's summertime.
Yeah, I know.
People are
You're right.
a little bit lackadaisical about liking and watching and doing this and doing that.
You might be listening to music,
You might
chilling
be,
out.
you might be
You never
down
know.
sitting at the pool somewhere.
Yeah, you might.
Although it looks a little cloudy. We could use some rain. Is that cloudy or haze from the wildfire?
It's just a little,
Oh, man,
little
look at
clouds.
that. Okay,
just
very
get
good.
a little suntan.
All right, we are doing Tom Mazawey's NFL Division Championship Confidence Meter today.
Let me go over my ones I've already talked about.
5 through 8.
Number 5, I've got the Lions. I really believe that they have a chance to win that division. Number 6, we move on to there, and I've got, who do I have at number 6?
San Francisco 49ers.
The 49ers at 6. I think it's them and the Seahawks. I know I'm not really breaking any ground here. I got the Bengals at number 7.
Oh, yeah,
Tough
Cincy.
division. And, of course, I've got at number 8 the Buffalo Bills, I think, in the toughest division in football, I believe, is the AFC East. So that brings us to number 4.
Number 4, numero cuatro.
And I think it's the runners-up of the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles. In one of my favorite divisions growing up, of course, the NFC East. We have the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Skins, now the Commanders. The Eagles, Ryan, the NFC champion Eagles, yes, they had some people leaving, but they had some people coming in as well. As much as they had leaving, they brought in the entire Georgia national championship team. And I like Nick Sirianni as a head coach, and I think Jalen Hurts, sky's the limit for this guy. I think the Eagles win this division again with the Cowboys and Giants fighting it out for second. And Washington really is not a bad team either.
I think this is a really good spot for Philadelphia because I think a lot of people just automatically assume the Philadelphia Eagles are going to take that 13-14 win seed. What were they? 14 wins last year, 14-3, and just automatically repeat it. I don't think that. I think they got worse. And what I mean by that, they are incorporating...
Not worse, maybe weaker?
Fine. Semantics.
Okay.
A new offensive coordinator, a new defensive coordinator, and all these young guys that you want to plug in and just assume that they're going to start for. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nakobe Dean, all these guys. And you cannot underestimate the loss of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. What he did for that defensive backfield in Philadelphia, I just don't think you replicate that. Parker wants to chime in on this.
So there is a stat going around, and there has not been a repeat champion of the NFC East in the past 6 years, I believe.
Wow.
So you're kind of onto something where this could be the Cowboys' year, honestly. And I think the Giants are a sleeper in that division to where that with Brian Dable coming in, he's a coach he was coach of the year, I believe, last year.
He was.
So, I mean, Giants are not a team to sleep on. Commanders are not a team to sleep on. So, NFC East is easily one of the hardest divisions to win.
It's a really great point about...
New owner, too, in Washington.
Yes, but Parker makes a really good point, too, Maz, about repeat champions in the NFC East. Now, it's not every year that you see that. So Dallas is an intriguing team to me this year as well. I mean,
they're going to be right there.
Dak Prescott is playing for his job in Dallas. So I like where you have Philadelphia. They're not 1, they're not 2. Hell, they're not even 3. And maybe that's the peak for them is 4 in terms of confidence meter to win a division.
Absolutely,
in the
tough
NFL.
division. Again,
yes.
This is parity, man. The NFL is parity. They got what they wanted. At number 3, it's the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, it's hard to argue.
Derek Carr.
I got him up there.
Derek Carr coming to a Saints team. Last year, the winning team here was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with an 8-9 record, and that was with Tom Brady. They now have my man Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask battling for that number 1 spot. The Atlanta Falcons, I think, are a nice team. They were in a lot of games last year, a ton of games, a lot of one-loss, a lot of late losses there for Atlanta. I think they get better, and they get Bijan Robinson. That offense is going to be pretty good, except now we got to look at their quarterback. And as far as the Carolina Panthers go, they got the number 1 pick in the draft. They got the number 3 pick in the freaking draft. They did all right for themselves, the Carolina Panthers. It's an improved division, still one of the weakest in the NFL, if not the weakest. That's why I'm giving the Saints and that pretty good defense, and they still got Alvin Kamara working there, and they got John Gruden now on the side, maybe feeding Dennis Allen some offensive knowledge. I like the New Orleans Saints to win that division.
And again, and we all know who number 1 is going to be on here. And like the Jacksonville Jaguars, if you look at New Orleans' division, one of the worst in the league. I mean, the Tampa Bay Bucks are not very good. They might be the worst team in the league this year. You've got Desmond Ridder quarterbacking the Atlanta Falcons, and you've got a rookie in Bryce Young quarterbacking Carolina. And you talk about Frank Reich, and he's a really good coach and all that stuff. I do think anytime you have a team that loses a head coach, like Carolina did last year, I think there is...
they had Steve Wilkes, who they kind of liked. The players liked him.
They were playing
just
their tails off for him.
Just like Rick Bisaccia the year prior when the Raiders had a coach.
Yes, they were playing their tails off for them, and that's a great example, Tom. I'm glad you brought it up. So I see a year for Carolina kind of like last year for Raiders.
Me too.
Like a fallback. And now I think they went... 6 and 10 or 7 and 10. 7 and 10.
You don't think they're good enough to win a division?
Yeah,
I just don't.
7 wins or less for Carolina this year.
That takes me to number 2, and the world champion Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm going to bring Sam in on this one as well. Yes, the Kansas City Chiefs. How do you not back the Kansas City Chiefs? Who is going to beat them in the West? You believe Brandon Staley and the Chargers are going to beat them?
No, I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs are this generation's New England Patriots. The Kansas City Chiefs right now are the real-life version of the Space Jam Monstars. They've had such a dominant run of consecutive division championships, Super Bowl appearances, And even when they lost Tyrann Mathieu and Tyreek Hill in last year's free agency, they rebound by drafting well and winning the Super Bowl. They have the formula. They got the best quarterback, the best tight end, the best defensive tackle in Chris Jones, arguably the best center in Creed Humphrey, and the best coach in Andy Reid.
Yep.
They're going to keep winning this division as long as they have Patrick Mahomes, Reid, and all of those guys. It's theirs. I would put them number one, honestly.
They could be.
Every year, it's the Chargers' year. Last year, it was the Broncos got Russell Wilson. The Raiders got Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones and Max Crosby. Nope. Always the Chiefs. It's like the sun coming up in the morning.
You hit it on the head,
Death and
Sam.
taxes. Kansas City Chiefs win the division.
Facts. Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, look, they're very good. I just going by a little bit of history too.
You want to beat them,
huh?
You want to beat them.
Everybody's going to play their best game against Kansas City. And if you look at their schedule this year, it's a really difficult schedule. I mean, they play the Bengals, outside of their division.
Right, of course.
They play the Bengals.
They should own their division.
They play but don't count out Russell Wilson in Denver.
I'm not going to count them out, but not to win the division.
What's their division record, do you think?
Last year, I would think they'd the worst 4-2.
Okay,
probably 5-1.
Can we say 4-2? Is that a fair?
Okay, that's fair.
Maybe the Chargers pick them off. Maybe Denver picks them off. Okay. Then they play Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
They play Cincinnati.
Yep.
They play the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
They play the Dolphins.
Okay.
They play at the Vikings. They play at the Jets. Play at the Jaguars. They play against the Lions.
Pretty cool.
I mean, there's 7 games. Are they going to go 7-0 in those games? You know what I mean?
I get it. But I think the other teams in the division, the Chargers, Raiders, and Broncos,
I get it.
will be worse than that.
I understand. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Right.
I do think the Chiefs win. I just don't think it's an automatic. I'm betting the house on Kansas City to win the division. I think it's a very difficult year. Now, I do think they'll be in the NFC Championship game against Cincinnati and go from there, but we'll see.
By the way, condolences to the Chiefs and the Hunt family.
Norma Hunt.
Norma Hunt passed away. She was the matriarch of that team. Matter of fact, she went to every single Super Bowl. How about that? She's been to every single Super Bowl since Super Bowl I through this last past year, and she got to see her team win the championship. Of course, the mother to Clark Hunt now, who is the big man. Lamar Hunt, of course, the big chief of all, the Mr. AFC, and you see they wear that AFC patch on their chest, which I absolutely love, that AFL patch on their chest. So always been a chief kind of guy. Can't beat that uniform either.
No, you can't.
That leaves us at number 1, and it's the same as Ryan's. I do believe the Jags walk the AFC South.
I just don't know who else even puts up a fight.
I don't think they lose a game in the division. That gives them 6-0. Maybe the Colts could maybe pick them off one game. I don't know. But I think the Jags should dog walk the AFC South and win that thing easy. Easy, Rye.
Dumb question for you. Is Ryan Tannehill the starting quarterback for Tennessee still?
He is.
Maybe they got a shot. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe. They always play hard against each other.
Yeah, they do.
They beat the living daylights out of each other usually. But I think the Jags are on the up.
I agree.
And the Titans, if anything, they're in neutral. If anything. Sam, you got a thought on the AFC South?
Yeah, I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars win this one pretty easily. I think Trevor Lawrence is the next. He's got next when it comes to superstar quarterbacks, and he showed a lot this past year after getting out of the Urban Meyer disaster of a system. Travis Etienne came back, looks to be one of the better running backs in the NFL. They bring back Calvin Ridley, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram. They're pretty loaded. I will say this, though. I think the Houston Texans will be a little bit better than people think. I'm not saying they're going to overtake them. It just wouldn't shock me if they win 7 or 8 games.
Okay. Yeah. They're definitely on the comeback.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. They were a tough team last year.
Maz'z, I think your list is a really good list.
Thank you.
I think it's a fair list, and I commend you.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. We're going to go around the NFL. Lots of stuff to get to today.
Heck yeah.
There's lots of NFL. Shannon Sharp leaving as well.
NHL Stanley Cup game number 2.
Oh,
Did you know they were still playing?
My big complaint about that, too.
Me too.
And HBO working on a new documentary. We've got lots to hit on. And whatever we don't do today, we can do tomorrow. But we want to go around the NFL because I think that's the most important stuff. We'll get there next. But first, a message from Fairway Packing. We're going to be there in a couple of weeks broadcasting live. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks. That's where we are going to be in advance of Father's Day. Listen, I'm telling you right now, if you're grilling on Father's Day, you want to make Dad happy, there is no better place to go than to pick up your prime meat at Fairway Packing Company, the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. And you can order online as well. It stays good for weeks in the refrigerator, too. You don't have to freeze it. Fairwaypacking.com is the website to go for that. They ship anywhere. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. Sourced, cut, aged, packed to perfection.
I'm hungry.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
You know, the NFL is just king, and sporadically, I just don't think there's a league or, I mean, other than Prince William or Harry. Prince Harry finds himself in the news all the time. Prince Harry has taken like the NFL model, and just trickles out news all throughout the year.
I don't know if it's that good though.
So well, whatever. But everybody's talking. He was on like 60 Minutes again last night. It was a replay, whatever. But I was thinking about Prince Harry's kind of like the NFL.
Okay.
He just sprinkles this little bit of news here and there to stay relevant. Dude needs to go away. But it's fine.
But not the NFL.
But not the NFL. The NFL also sprinkles a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Their calendar is unmatched to always stay relevant, and that is why we go to you, Tom Mazawey. You also are very relevant.
Buddy. Thank you, buddy. We got mini camp starting tomorrow. See? They just got you again. OTAs was done. Mini camp tomorrow. I'm going to go to a guy that I kind of like, but not many people do. It's Chris Sims, son of one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time, Phil Sims. He and Mike Florio work together on Pro Football Talk. But here's Chris Sims, top 40 quarterbacks, and he is down to the final 10 now. But I want you to look and concentrate on number 17. Ryan, do you see who's number 17?
Yeah, and it's Jared Goff. And above Jared Goff, you've got Ryan Tannehill, Geno Smith, and Russell Wilson. I will tell you that I would rather have Jared Goff over Ryan Tannehill. I do think it is a discussion point whether you would want for the upcoming season. Now, we're not talking about what you have done for me lately.
Upcoming.
For the upcoming season. I think I would rather have Russell Wilson over
Goff,
but not Geno Smith and not Tannehill.
I'm with you there.
Yeah,
I think he's okay the way he has it right now. I'm anxious to see the next bunch of guys ahead, but we kind of know who they are.
Yeah.
But it's good once it's on paper to see it. So, Sam, I'm coming to you. Jared Goff, the 17th ranked quarterback in the NFL for the upcoming season.
Well, that obviously seems a little low, and I think it's disrespectful. I can't wait to see how the rest of the list plays out. We kind of already know who's in front of them, but when we talk about 16, 15, and 14, I agree. I would take Jared Goff any day of the week, twice on Sundays, over Ryan Tannehill. And with Geno Smith, I don't know. I mean, you'd think that it's easy for Jared Goff over Geno Smith, but Geno Smith had a damn good year last year, and I like his weapons. DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Tyler Lockett, and Kenneth Walker in the backfield. Ooh. I think it's a bit of a push. And with Russell Wilson, I expect a bounce back, but that last season he had just like scares the daylights out of me. So I would probably put Jared Goff over. If you're saying gun to my head, I would take him over all three of the guys in front of him. But it's close. At least with Russell Wilson and Geno Smith.
It is close, and even if you do want, just for argument's sake, even if you do want to put him above Tannehill, Smith, and Wilson and place him at 14, let's just say you place him at 14, you still have a middle-of-the-road guy.
Yeah, you do.
You got a middle-of-the-road guy because he's and that is why the Lions took Hendon Hooker. That is why I think you and I, wanted Anthony Richardson to be drafted at 6, especially initially. That is why we wanted them to take a quarterback last year, because the constant Jared Goff evaluation, he has earned the right to play this year and start this year, obviously, and he will determine by his play whether or not he will continue to be the starting quarterback of this football team. He will determine whether or not he gets a big contract or not by his play. So everything that we're talking about now will work itself out.
Correct. And we hope it does.
And it's up to Jared Goff to decide that and nobody else.
All right.
But this is why they took Hendon Hooker. Because they too believe he's a middle-of-the-road guy.
And we will update the Chris Sims list going forward.
And you can win. Let me just say, you can win with a middle-of-the-road guy.
You can.
Not saying you can't. You can win with a middle-of-the-road guy making $30 million a year, but you can't do it with $45 or $50 million.
Correct.
The direction it's going. Just want to make that clear.
You are very clear. Crystal.
Good. Thank you.
Crystal clear. Let's go out to Buffalo, because today is the day that they started digging for the new Buffalo Bills stadium. Yes. You're going to spend a lot of money on this stadium, and it's going to be an outdoor stadium. Now, let me give you the good thing first. The outdoor stadium, I think, is wonderful if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, because that's the weather you want these teams to come and play. The downside of not having a retractable roof, obviously, here in Detroit, because we get good weather pretty much all through up to December, into December. Buffalo, it's another story. They had to move a game last year. Possibly they almost lost 2 home games because of snow. We had the Buffalo Bills here playing, and that's fine. If they want to get snowed out and come play here in Detroit, I'll go watch them. They played the Cleveland Browns last year. But I don't see how you're spending billions of dollars on a stadium in this day and age and not putting a retractable roof on it.
You don't do it. It's not a good fiscal policy. It's not very good fiscal responsibility. You just can't make money in a cold, wet. This is all about money here, okay? Everything is about money.
They're not going to get a Super Bowl.
Life is about money. They will get a Super Bowl.
No, the Bills won't get a Super Bowl.
Why?
Even if they had a dome, they wouldn't get a Super Bowl. Yeah, it's a small, it's an AFL city that stayed in the NFL because their fans are amazing. Amazing fans in Buffalo. That's why they have a team. Otherwise, you don't have a team. How many Buffalo teams are there? You got the Sabres and you got the Bills.
I think they will get a Super Bowl if they have a new stadium. I think they will, but
not anymore. It's open.
Oh, it's open.
It's an open stadium.
Oh, that's dumb. I misunderstood what you said then. I misunderstood what you said.
It's an open air stadium.
It's not good. You can't have concerts in December. This is all about making money here, man.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Who makes this stuff? Who thinks like this?
It's not too late for them to rethink this, but they dug ground today, and the Bills will leave Rich Stadium after all these years and play in this new
It's really
venue.
dumb.
All right, moving on.
Very
Josh
dumb.
Allen, speaking of the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen is rumored to be the cover boy for the new Madden.
Look at that. How about that? Not Patrick Mahomes?
Not Patrick Mahomes. Now, I don't know. Sam,
he was on it twice.
Sam, you got stats for me as far as the Madden. Is there a Madden curse still going on? I remember the Sports Illustrated curse. Is there a Madden curse still going on?
There was one for a little bit. I haven't checked the stats lately. Let me get back to you.
Parker, you got something on that, buddy?
Well, wrong camera.
That's all right. That's fine.
So the kind of logic behind it is after Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl in 2019 or 2020, then the curse was over because he's so far the only quarterback. Was the first quarterback to actually go all the way that year after being the Madden cover athlete.
Fair enough. You know who I would have put on the cover this year?
I'm thinking Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers in a Jets uniform.
Aaron Rodgers.
And they're still trying to work out Hard Knocks too, by the way.
I know. It's got to be the Jets. Please be the Jets.
I mean,
please.
In fact, what are you going to watch, the Bears?
Well, I'd watch anything.
No, you might, but a lot of people won't.
The Jets will be fun, man.
Yeah.
By the way, the Bears, I don't have that with me right now. I'll do it tomorrow. But the Bears might not be going to Arlington Park.
Really?
Yes, there is something going on.
Are they going to keep the ponies there?
Well, they already dismantled everything. Maybe they could bring it back. I'd pray to God that they bring it back. I'd be there on opening day. But I hope that. So the Bears might have something else coming as far as a new home from Soldier Field.
All right, very good, Maz'z. Hey, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got a video for you. A guy gets caught doing something at an inopportune time.
Big time.
Tom Mazawey will let us know when he got caught. We'll have it. We'll be right back.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
All right, WoodwardSports.com, NHL Stanley Cup Final tonight. You might have to.
Playing?
Yeah, they are still playing, and it is on TNT tonight. So TBS Game 1, TNT Game 2, the WB Game 3.
You know what I do? 999.
Yeah.
CBC, because I cannot stand Kenny Albert. I never could stand him. I'm a Marv Albert lover. Kenny Albert ain't anywhere near Marv Albert, and I think they made a terrible choice putting him as the lead announcer. Never mind that it's on a cable network for the first time ever. Strictly, when it was on ESPN, at least they bled out to ABC a little bit.
Yeah.
No one's finding this. No one even knows it's on because they waited way too long to play Game 1. Game 1 was Saturday. It should have been last Wednesday. Game 2 should have been Friday. Game 3 should have been tonight. They would have had all 3 nights to themselves. Instead, we got Game 1 on Saturday. No one's home. It's summer. And it's on a cable network. And now Game 2 is now. We already forgot who the hell's playing. Vegas, he's been in the league for 6 years. This is their second final. And you're playing the Panthers, who were destroying teams. But let's take 2 weeks off and then bring the Panthers back. It's shades of 06. What they did to the Tigers.
Shades of 06.
Shades of 06.
Indeed. Shades
and it sucks,
of 06.
because I believe
indeed.
the Panthers would have run them out of the rink. Instead, now they got to fight and see if they can get back. Go Panthers tonight.
I agree.
That's my pitch.
I agree. Miami's going to tie it up tonight.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
The Miami Panthers.
I know, the Miami Panthers. The Sunrise Panthers.
Maz'z, what do you got here about this fella who got caught?
Okay, listen, guys. This could be the worst catch ever. This poor bastard just got married. As he is walking down the aisle, he is texting. I'm going to show you the video. This is for real. This is New York Post beauty, not New York porch. Let's play the video. We're going to talk over it. No music, please, because we'll get pulled down. But look at this guy.
He's got to be gambling. He's got to be gambling. Because anybody that's at the wedding, who's he texting? What are you looking at? Is he looking at porn?
People are saying on the chat.
It's got to be gambling.
They're saying he's talking to his side chick. He's talking to his
side
buddies,
piece.
his side piece. And they're going to get outside, and she's going to give him a little earful. And he's going to be like, what did I do? Well, if it kept playing, you would have seen that. But nonetheless, that's a pretty bad catch right there.
I just don't understand it. Like, what's he doing? I'd love to. Do we know what the real story is? Do we know who he was?
No, you don't know.
Conversing with, watching.
You don't know.
Do we know if he was gambling, if he was watching something pornographic?
And I have to give credit not only to the New York Post, but to Mahunts MAHUNTSU. That's who put it out on Twitter. So supposedly the video was taken down, but I had caught it in time to get it on the show.
Why was it taken down?
I have no idea. But it was a TikTok phenomenon. I mean, it's got millions and millions of hits on this thing. This guy can't live this down. People are saying, hey, girl, annul this wedding. Get out of this thing. This guy is not for you. How bad? You ever get caught bad with a phone like that?
No.
Sam, how about you? I was at your wedding. I didn't see you on your phone.
No, that was the furthest thing from my mind on that day. If you really are married to the right person, it truly is just one of those magical live in the moment days. So I cannot even imagine any reason to be walking down the aisle after getting married. Come on, man, that's a fail.
Hey, Maz'z, you ever get caught doing anything you shouldn't be doing?
Oh, pretty much a few times in my life. Been caught red-handed, not like George Costanza was caught, though.
Oh, yeah.
Checking out a Glamour magazine when he thought nobody was home. Exactly. But I was home one day back in the 80s, we'll say.
Oh, in the 80s.
In the 80s, and I decided, no one's home at my parents' house. I brought my girlfriend back to my parents' house, went up to my old
Do you
room.
remember her name?
Of course. Tammy.
With a name like,
Tammy.
No offense.
None taken.
Okay.
So we're upstairs having a little afternoon delight, and in walks my mother. And we're all the way upstairs. And she's I hear footsteps.
Oh, man.
And she's like, Tommy, are you home? I'm like, Mom, I'm home, Mom, yeah. I'm good. I'll come out and see you here in a minute. So my mom stopped, thank God, before
she knew what time it was.
Well, she knew what time it was. My mom was a cool chick. Claire Mazawey knew what time it was.
Oh,
But
man.
that was a bad catch.
She knew what time it
No
was.
doubt about it, man. How about you? Nothing for you?
No,
Nothing?
man,
Come on.
Yeah, clean cut.
Yeah, sure.
Clean individual.
I'm sure you are. Let me show you this parlay, guys. Let me get out of this right now. Let's put this parlay up. Because if this
it's a Circus Sports parlay.
If this parlay hits, Sam, look at this thing.
$100 wagered to win $74,000.
He bet 3 future champions.
So he bet on
the World Cup.
The World Cup to win. I can't see that far. Who won the World Cup? Argentina. Lionel Messi.
So he bet Argentina,
the Golden Knights, and the Denver Nuggets. Wow. That's impressive.
How much do you think
he
they're
did
trying
that
to pay
on
him?
November 1st, 2022.
How much do you think they're trying to pay him right now to get out of this ticket?
Well, you can obviously negotiate. He could sell that ticket too. There's people that will buy that ticket. You could say, give me $25,000 and I'll sell you this ticket. That
So if you were
happens,
holding
too.
that ticket back in the day, are you selling that or are you waiting?
I'm waiting to see what happens tonight.
But then the number might go down.
Sure. But you're still in a really good spot.
It's like Deal or No Deal. Remember the old show, Deal or No Deal?
Oh God, yeah. So I was watching one of the first. I think it was like the first Deal or No Deal. I was watching it, and people just didn't have any idea really how to play the game.
Right.
I think still too. So there was 2 cases left. And there was a $500,000 case and a $5 case.
Ooh.
And the deal was $250,000.
Sure. That makes sense.
And so, you get the family on the stage with you.
Of course.
So there's a deal or no deal. And the guy's thinking about it. And the brother is on the stage on his hands and knees.
Please
and he's
take
like,
it.
Hank, Hank,
Are you kidding?
we can turn 250,000 into 500,000. We can't do nothing with no $5.
Now
He took the 250,000 and he had a $5 case.
He had the $5
So he had the
case.
$5 case.
Was
so-
Meghan Markle holding the other case?
I don't know. I don't know anything about her affiliation with the show, but very good.
By the way, before we go,
Yeah.
there's a show out there called, if you're any game show fans out there, there's a show on demand on ABC. It's called The Game Show Show. And it takes you back, all the way back to the old $64,000 question, all the way up to today's game
Wow.
shows. And it's a history of game shows, a lot of stars on it. Interviews, Bob Barker when he got in trouble for Barker's Beauties back in the day. So if you really want to see, and
Heaven forbid.
and they got Deal or No Deal on there. It was just very fun to watch. If you want to watch it, have at it.
Barker's Beauties.
Barker's
Heaven
Beauties.
forbid today.
Oh my God.
Can you even imagine?
Barker still to this
You
day
can't
says,
even
"I
say-
was innocent. I'm innocent."
You can't even say the DL.
No,
The
a
disabled
DL,
list. You can't even say
don't
that.
say
It's
the
now the
disabled list.
I.
That's
the
injured.
IL.
It's an injured list. Ronnie.
Hey, Parker, great debut out of you today, buddy. Sam, no, it's been a long day. You rock. Tom Mazawey.
See you, buddy.
Absolutely.
I'm going back to my chair tomorrow.
Braylon will be back tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button. Tell a friend about Woodward Sports.
Thanks, gang.
We'll see you tomorrow.